let's first identify what Buddhist philosophers like to call the object of negation, the thing that we're trying to refute. And I think it's important to convince people that this is an actual kind of cognitive error to which we're all susceptible. So I can start by asking you to imagine somebody whose body you'd like to have. Maybe you'd like to have it for a long time. You'd just like to swap bodies permanently. Maybe you'd just like to borrow it for a little bit and see what it feels like. And I think that almost everybody can get into that kind of desire. Now, what I'm not saying is that desire is cogent or that it's actually metaphysically possible to have somebody else's body. But desires are like that. You can desire stuff that's not possible. If we imagine that, and you imagine, yeah, I'd really like to have Usain Bolt's body for 9.4 seconds because I'd love to know what it feels like to run 100 meters that fast. When I say that, I don't want to be Usain Bolt because that wouldn't do me any good at all. I want to be me, Jay, with Bolt's body. If you can get yourself into that kind of fantasy, then you know that you don't think of yourself as a body. You think of yourself as somebody who has a body and might be able to have somebody else's body while remaining the same person. And there's all kinds of thought experiments like that. I think that we can do the same thing with minds. I can say, gee, I'd really love to have Carlo Rovelli's mind just for a little bit. Because if I had Carlo's mind, I'd understand quantum gravity. And I'd understand what spin foams mean and all of that cool stuff. But alas, I don't. But again, I'm not wanting to be Carlo. That wouldn't do me any good at all, because then Jay wouldn't be around anymore. I want to be Jay with Carlo's mind, if only for a few minutes. Actually, I'd like it for longer than that, but that's a different story. Now, if you can get yourself into that fantasy, then you don't think of yourself even as your mind. You think of yourself as this thing that's got a body and got a mind, and it could have a better body or a better mind, or a more interesting body or attractive body, or a cleverer mind, but still be you. Now, the moment you think that way, however incoherent it is, then you're thinking that the you, the I, is this thing that stands behind body and mind as a kind of subject that has them, that interacts with the world using them as its instruments.